guys, it's Marissa, and today I'm going to be making a video on how to be popular in high school. And I realize that this video is a bit subjective. You know, it obviously depends on the school and the person and how you apply these tips that I'm going to show you guys how to do. And yeah, this is just kind of a general guideline that I found and that I've experienced through high school. So don't, be offended at anything that I say. This is just my own personal experience. Okay, so one good tip is to bring food and share it. And that sounds really silly, like a silly tip, but I noticed that some of the most popular kids are the kids who have, a bag of chips and they're sharing with everybody. And I don't know how to say this without it seeming shallow, but it's when you share with people, it's kind of an incentive, to be friends with you. And that sounds bad, but when you create a kind of casual environment where everyone's, reaching, sharing a bag of chips, I feel like it brings people closer together. And when you have people to share with, it does make conversation. You can meet new people. Hey, you want some chips? Once I randomly had an apple pie and I shared with everybody, and it was literally it was the weirdest thing because we all just had one fork and we were all just eating this random pie. But yeah. One of the things that personally helped me was joining a bunch of different clubs and activities and classes that kind of help expand your horizons, try out for the school play, join choir, join the dance team. I was on the dance team for most of my high school, and I was also on choir for a year, and then I also auditioned for a school play, and I was in that for I think a semester or something. So I feel like by doing all of those things, it kind of got me familiar with everybody in every different group. And that's really important when you're considering popularity, because you can't really be popular if people don't know who you are. So by kind of putting your name out there and trying out for this and taking this class and being on that team, you're throwing yourself out there and you're kind of creating friends and situations that you wouldn't normally have. Because it's with the drama play, I wouldn't have known any of those people if I hadn't seen them every day after school during drama practice. I wouldn't have had all of that time with them and all of those experiences with them. So it really does kind of help to familiarize you with all different aspects of the kids in your school. So in movies, we're taught to kind of be unique and be individual and all that good stuff. But when you actually do those things and when you actually, take a chance and you are individual and you have your own personal expression, you're kind of ostracized for it and sometimes shunned by the other students. So, even though that's kind of what we're taught to be unique and individual or whatever, sometimes that's not always the best case for high school specifically. You want to be unique and you want to be yourself, but you don't want to be so unique that it completely ostracizes you and that everyone is mean and cruel to you, which did happen at my high school, not to me, but to other people who were over the top and who did dress a certain way. Yeah, high school is not the time for experimentation. College is really the place where you can kind of experiment and be yourself, and you're actually rewarded for that, and you're kind of complimented for doing that. But high school isn't really so much about that. It's more about kind of fitting in as a whole, which sounds shallow and it sounds bad, but that's kind of the truth. That's kind of the reality of the situation. Yeah, high school, what I'm saying sounds shallow, but high school's kind of a shallow place, I'm not saying you need to dress preppy or a specific way. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, however you dress, be sure to own it and completely back up whatever you wear. If somebody questions it, yeah, I'm wearing this, so what? This is the limited edition, whatever, make up something, but just own what you wear and own who you are, and you can't lose. So the most popular kids in my experience, are the kids who are really, really, really overly confident. And it's much, much better to be overly confident than so lacking in the confidence area. You know, you want to walk into a room with your head held high and act like you own the place. You know, when you do a group presentation, you don't want to seem nervous, you don't want to be shaky, you don't want to have the shaky hands, as I like to call it. You want to be really relaxed, and you want to own it. You just want to act like you're not nervous at all, it doesn't faze you, you know, that it's not a big deal. And if you're somebody who has like really low self-esteem, you could have like almost like even a mantra that you say to yourself every single morning, like a little, you know, paper that says like, I am beautiful, smart, kind, funny, you know, just whatever, a bunch of good things about yourself, and you read it to yourself every morning, and it kind of just like, it inspires you. Like for me, I have movies that I watch and I kind of like perk up, and it makes me like more confident, but you know, you just need to find out what works for you. Or, you know, put it in your locker, do something to kind of remind yourself on a daily basis that like, I'm awesome. Another thing is, don't mistake being popular for getting bad grades. Like, in my experience, the people who are really, really popular weren't the stupid kids, weren't the people who failed classes. Like, you don't need to like act stupid or get in trouble in class or get in trouble with the teacher to like be popular. You know, it's not gonna benefit you. If anything, being cool with the teachers and not being a teacher's pet, but just being like kind of on the inside with the teachers, like on the inner ring, it can help you because you can kind of get away with more things in class, and you can kind of goof off a little bit more and be more funny. And get away with giving like silly answers and funny presentations and all that stuff. So I would recommend, you know, don't dumb yourself down. I know that's a line from Mean Girls, but don't dumb yourself down, and just kind of do your best. You know, don't let it affect your schoolwork. Don't let your popularity or your reputation or whatever affect your schoolwork at all. So I think it's kind of common knowledge that the kids who like dress the best and they're really super rich and they have all the latest gadgets and the iPhone 5 and whatnot are the most popular because they have all these like intricate, you know, gadgets. But you will never get anywhere if you have the worst personality in the world. Like, you need to be outgoing, you need to be funny, you need to be, you know, nice to people or mean to people, whatever works. No, but you need to be, you know, kind of make an impression, and you need to like kind of give people a reason to be friends with you. You know, you don't want to be friends with like a loser, boring person. Like, if you have something cool about you that's like really, really unique, use it to your advantage. Like, I had a sister who worked at a movie theater, so I could get people free movies, to see free movies and like free popcorns, free ices, like a ton of like hookups, you know, at all of the cool spots. So like, that was my thing. You know, if you have something cool about you that like other people, that will like inspire them and motivate them to be friends with you. And keep in mind, it's not like you're not bribing them. You're not saying like, hey, if you hang out with me, I'll get you this. But you know, people are gonna be more likely to want to like be friends with you and hang out with you if you have all these hookups. So people rate themselves as less attractive than other people do. So just keep this in mind, that, you know, you're not as loserish as you might think that you are. Like, I didn't think I was that popular, I didn't think I was that great in high school, and talking to people now, they're like, oh, you were so cool, you were so popular, I wanted to ask you out, like all these people are just like, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't know any of these things. So, you know, just keep in mind that people think higher of you than you do. You know, people think a lot more highly of you than you yourself do. So, I don't know if that made sense, but it did. So you're probably a lot more popular than you think you are. So that was my video. I hope that you guys liked it and found it a little helpful. And again, like, this wasn't meant to be like a superficial video. And I know there's gonna be people who disagree with it and think, oh, just be yourself. And you're right, you should be yourself. You should be, you know, confident and happy and outgoing and all that stuff. You should be the best you that you can possibly be. But, you know, high school is high school. And I don't know, I think that by following some of these tips, you can increase your popularity beyond your wildest dreams and make your life a lot easier. So yeah, that was my video, and leave me a comment down below if you have any comments or questions, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Noodles is cheap!